rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show, let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile, pants are off but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee, talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show, let's go. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile, pants are off but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee, talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show, let's go. Serious is overrated, every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town but in a jest, Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run, morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful day. How are you? Let me see if I can fix that just a little bit, so that way it's not so damn bright. There we go. How you doing? You're going to accuse Shizzy of falling asleep at a urinal? No, never. Not me. I would never do such a thing. No, not today, at least. Hey, is it wrong that you're sitting here for 5 minutes watching this kid smack the wall over and over again and laugh? Now, if you guys don't know, over on Rumble, see, I do stream this over on Rumble. So on Rumble, I have a Monday morning thing that happens because it actually happens every single time on that particular one. But there's this one where the kid is running into a wall. It's a little gif. That's what it is. It's pretty cool. Oh my god. Yeah. It's don't worry about it. I enjoy that one myself. That's why I put it there. Wait until you see the girl with the bottle. That's even better. Good morning. I have my favorites. Nancy. Good morning, David. Good evening, Shizzy. Chat from Ozland. Welcome. How's Ohio looking today? I'm kidding. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Nancy, yes. And then Razilla. I still can't believe I wrote 15 songs today and sent them to my editor. Isn't it weird how it works? 15 songs just come like, your fingers are a bit tired. Yeah, it does happen. Good to see you, Raz. Nancy. Yes, I have my favorites. Good morning, Raz, David, Nancy. I think that I can afford to take 5 days off again. Good luck. Yes. My Lord Almighty, we got, let's see, what else we got here? Don, and if you can't see the chat over in Rumble, I can. So that's really what matters. Another sleepless night, so I get to watch Shizzy. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Donna. I hope that rest finds you and finds you very well. I mean, I know the feeling. Good to see you, Sherry. Now, morning. Just me. Good. Daddy Shizzy and Chad just popped in by the neck of a wasp. Merry Good to see you, John Naylor. Elka, how you doing? Happy. Good morning, Happy. Oh my gosh. See, how can you be sad whenever you have a name like Happy? Lurking Meowth. Lurking Meowth too. Good to see you. Sir Buck, how are you? Yeah, everyone's getting in. Good to see you, Wes. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, it is a interesting time we live in. I am sure that yesterday the news was just absolutely filled with stuff going on with Charlie Kirk. A beautiful memorial. It was the biggest, beautifulest, most beautiful memorial. No, it was quite the names came out for that, and these folks couldn't understand why someone like Kimmel got shit canned. Why? What's the other guy's name? I don't know, because I don't watch late night TV. I'm usually doing streams late night, and I don't really pay attention to late night TV. It's not my gig. But those guys have stopped being funny quite some time ago. I would, we miss the days of Letterman. I mean, even Jay Leno was funnier than some of these guys, and Leno wasn't my favorite by a long shot. But you have to respect that he was a comedian for quite some time before he did that. When Johnny retired, you stopped. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Carson, late night with Johnny Carson, that was sort of the pinnacle of all of that, and then it just was on a slow climb down. I mean, I used to watch stuff like whenever Dave Letterman would, make himself a full body Alka-Seltzer or, a full body Velcro and just jump and stick himself to a wall, things like that. Those were the days whenever it was a little bit crazier, and there was always some humor there. But I don't know if the writers just got worse over time. I think that's pretty much what it was. The writers just got crappy. They really couldn't come up to muster. And, also people started noticing most of these, here's Johnny. Yeah. I mean, I think the writers got to the point where it was, they started either getting lazy, trying to rehash old things, or, the laugh tracks is really what sort of tore it apart. Like it was almost like the coof did people in. I mean, if you think about it, it really did. I mean, that was sort of the decline where nobody was watching it, especially whenever if you're wanting to see comedy. I mean, you can just turn on the YouTube or Rumble or any other thing and get comedy almost instantaneously. And then you can also find the comedy that you're looking for. Miyagi, good to see you. How you doing? Good day, Shizzy. Thanks for coming to the wedding reception. I had to make an escape back to Australia. Nutsacks made it past customs. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Good to see you, Miyagi. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was I should do a song on the Ed Arns mistake. Yeah. During the coup, they all became vax salesmen. Yeah, exactly, Jack Buck. And I think that's something that people tended to forget, is then it became very obvious that they were just almost like this propaganda machine, like pumping out what the government wanted to tell you, not having any thought of their own. I mean, it went from the dancing vaccine needles to other kinds of stuff. It was, and I mean, even at the time, people on both sides of the fence were going, "This is so cringe. Why are they doing this?" I mean, it wasn't the left, Jack. It was both sides of the fence were noticing these kinds of things then and sort of pushing back on it. Like we said before, government doesn't have the same kind of rights that we do. We have rights against the government. The thing that people tend to forget, and this happens all the way around, is like your First Amendment rights is First Amendment from the government stopping you from having speech, or First Amendment from other people doesn't exist. you're free to speak to other people, and you don't have a First Amendment right from other people. Weird how that works, isn't it? I mean, you can still get in trouble for things that you say to other people, but you don't have a First Amendment right against other people. Doc just put on the Paxlovid last week. Look at how much of that stuff costs sometimes. Highway robbery. Ooh, yeah. What did he say for you to do to the runner? What runner? Huh? I don't know. Don't know. Definitely denial. I have my favorites. Yeah, don't listen to him. Or Jay. Well, it's okay. You know, Jay will, I think Jay will pair through it. It'll be just fine. Don't listen to it. Definitely denial. Yeah, like after Johnny retired, SNL quit being funny too. SNL was hilarious up until the 80s. Now not so funny. I mean, you still had the time of Chris Farley. That was, you know, that whole era. I mean, you had Norm Macdonald. You really had a lot of great people that came out of that era. And then it started being, and it's sort of like SNL has gone through waves where it's funny and then it's not funny, and every so often they hit on it. There's you know, they're still trying to do apparently his voice. I mean, they just really missed. They really missed out on you know, having the good stuff that was, you know, more than just nothing. Now it's sort of like this empty place. Dana Carvey was always pretty funny. And the thing is, you didn't ever have to agree with his politics, but he was damn funny. I mean, doing the church lady. Well, just God, Lord Almighty. Too much politics. I want entertainment. Well, and that's the thing is I think they missed out on making the politics funny. You know, even if you disagree with somebody, still making it funny. You know, this is the thing that they haven't been able to achieve, because it's always, SNL has always had politics involved in it. It's not like it was ignorant of the politics that were going on, but they hit it in such a way that it was funny. It was more tongue in cheek. The subtleties of the comedy that people, I don't know, maybe it's because it was one of those I don't get the joke kind of things, so they had to make it more and more obvious. I don't know if maybe just, you know, we got more stupid or what, but I mean, SNL has always been political. Look at Johnny Carson. Even Johnny Carson was political, but he did it in such a way that it flowed. It was part of the act, not the whole act. So we miss out on a lot of that. Favorite was Hee Haw and I Love Lucy. Yeah. I mean, hell, even I Love Lucy was political, and you didn't even know that. I mean, yeah, they got in all kinds of trouble because they had the same bed, shared the same bed. Oh my gosh, that was almost bannable. Carol Burnett. Yeah, like I said, there were lots of great service. Always comedy. Politics will always make good comedy. There's a reason why court jesters have been around, because the court jesters could always make fun of the king without ever suffering the retribution. You know, they could mock, they could harass, they could outright tease, but they had to do it in such a way that it didn't offend the king to the point of, you know, getting, you know, removed. Miss Robin Williams, nobody was safe. Yeah, Robin Williams. What is it? Carlin was awesome. Like his wit was unbelievable. Now he had old Johnny Carson, who's on first skit about Reagan, was hilarious. It poked fun without being mean. Exactly. Laughing was fun. I remember back in the 80s, the what was it, the dating game. Remember that how hilarious that crap was? I mean, it was almost always the same thing, go out on a date and just, either it went really well or it went really horribly. And one of my friends wanted to be on the dating game. He tried multiple times to get on the dating game because he, he was going to have a blast with it. Saw Carlin live back in the 70s. Yeah. No, I got to meet Jim Belushi, not John Belushi, in person. And man, that guy's wit is absolutely quick. Volstorm? No, it wasn't Volstorm, but it was absolutely a really good little group that I hung out with back then. And I got a little news for you, just a little bit of news. We're you have to understand, I'm not covering Charlie Kirk for a reason, and it's not because I think that it's been covered ad nauseum, and you'll hear a lot more coming out over the next few years about this assassin that came in there, and the amount of stuff that you're going to find out. Only believe what you're hearing in court documents. Don't go. Try to stay away from all of the memes and crap like that. Group is code spec for cellmates. Group is code speak for cellmates. That's funny. Nothing can top the Blues Brothers. Now, I mean, Jim, not John Belushi, but Jim Belushi is the person I met. I never met John Belushi. I think I was too young whenever you passed. That would have been weird. You had your biopsy results all clear. Congratulations, Brummy. That's excellent to hear. Getting through the day. Oh, well, I'm glad to see that you're back, and that's very good news. I mean, let's. Hey, there's nothing like being here and enjoying.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Oh, yes, it's good to see you back. The Newlywed Game. Just to win a washer and dryer. Yeah, it was. Oh, there was some crazy stuff out there. But yes, I'm not covering the Charlie Kirk for a reason. Yeah, I don't like giving glory to the horribleness of people that go out and delete other people. I do want to say that Charlie Kirk was, an inspiration to a lot of people, and go check out his stuff. I mean, that was something that I think he would have wanted to leave that legacy of, forming and becoming, over Turning Point USA. Did a lot of good stuff. I didn't follow everything that he did closely, but it was impressive that one of the things that he was most important and tried to share with people is you still have to have those conversations. Now he's a better man than me, because I usually won't give platform to people that are fools. But he would give platform to them and let them do their thing. Met Gilda Radner in 1980. Our hotel was across from the Barrymore Theater. We went to the back door and waited on her to come out after stand-up routine. She's so tiny. Yeah. Your husband was laughing at me. I started chair dancing when you hit the song. Well, it happens. It does happen. Let's see. We got now the only old school left is Mel Brooks. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where all of the comedy goes, and comedy does come in waves. That's the thing about it. Sometimes it gets oversaturated. I mean, think about at the time that you had the comedy shows that nobody was watching back whenever Joe Rogan was starting out, doing his comedy bits. They were all struggling just to get people in the doors, and they ended up building up those comedy clubs. I think it was New York or something like that, where all these comedians were at. And some of them went out to California, and they sort of split around. And I mean, but comedy was pretty well gone at that point in time. There really wasn't much humor happening. Like I said, it comes in waves. Next year, Iron Maiden will be coming to tons of rock here in Norway. They're old school. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very old school. All right, let's get into some interesting news. The CEO of Georgia Company. Now, Georgia Company is not just a Georgia company. It's Georgia Company is actually a company. Was convicted in an international bribery and money laundering scheme. Well, a federal jury in Miami convicted U.S. businessman in September 15th for his role of a nearly 5-year-long scheme to bribe Honduran government officials and to launder money to secure businesses for a Georgia-based manufacturer of law enforcement uniforms and accessories. According to court documents and evidence presented at trial, Carl Zagan, 70. Oh, yes, it was a Georgia company. They should have said a Georgia company, not Georgia Company. Maybe it is Georgia Company, because there is a company called Georgia Company. Oh, of Marietta, Georgia, agreed to pay bribes to Honduran officials in order to obtain and retain business with Committee Techno de Fides, whatever. Okay, TASA. It's just called TASA, because if you try, this is the name of the company. Like, could you imagine putting that on your front door? No. TASA works for me. It's a Honduran government entity that procured goods from the Honduran National Police and other Honduran security agencies. Bribery and money laundering schemes that funneled millions through our district to corrupt foreign officials will be met with the full force of federal law, said U.S. Attorney Jason A. Redding Keown from the Southern District of Florida. This verdict sends a clear message. Those who seek to buy influence abroad, distort fair competition, or launder dirty money through the South Florida will be held accountable. I love it that they got that guy. I mean, it sucks because he was probably just trying to make money, but he's bribing Honduran officials. I mean, we've seen these kinds of people do this crap before, and what happens with them? What happens with them? They get in all kinds of trouble. Hopefully. The verdict sends a clear message. Those who seek to buy influence on abroad, well, we always try to buy some influence over broads. Instead of playing by the rules, Carl Zaglin unfairly sought to get ahead and enrich himself by paying bribes to Honduran officials. The acting assistant attorney general Matthew R. Galetti of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, bribing government officials to win business undermines the rule of law, distorts competitive markets. Today's verdict reaffirms the Criminal Division commitment to rooting out corruption and providing an equal playing field for American businesses. The trial evidence showed that between March 2015 and November 2019, Zaglin, an owner of CEO at Atlanco LLC, or Atlanco, they orchestrated the payments of hundreds of thousands of dollars to bribes to Honduran officials, including former TASA executive director Francisco Robert Cosenza, and former TSA titular, I love it, TASA titular director. I'd like to be a titular director. Juan Ramon Maloney. Sorry, I went blank. All the blood rushed from my head, and it just was Miss Don Rickles. Yeah. In order to secure contracts with TASA worth more than $10 million, the bribes were paid through Aldor Nestro Marchena, a third-party intermediary residing in Boca Raton. who received $2.5 million in payments pursuant to sham invoices authorized by Zaglin exchanged for the bribes. Well, Consenza and other Honduran government officials assisted Zaglin, Marchena, and others in obtaining contracts for the sale of uniforms and other goods to the Honduran National Police and securing payment on the contracts. Marchenja, Cosenza, Molina, and all previously pleaded guilty for their roles in the scheme. To conceal the scheme, Zaglin, Marchetta, Cosenza, and their co-conspirators used coded and oblique language like commissions and fees to refer to bribes, in Miami to refer to Marchena, the guys, and the others to refer to foreign officials, sham brokerage agreements, false detailing legitimate services, and they communicated using personal email accounts and encrypted messaging applications. Figured I'd spare you the cough. The conspirators laundered the bribes by moving funds from Alco to Marchena's front company in the United States to accounts held to the benefit of Honduran officials in the United States, Belize, and elsewhere. The jury convicted Zaglin of one count of conspiracy to violate Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, or FCPA, one count of violating the FCPA, and another count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. He faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison on both the FCPA count and FCPA conspiracy count, and a maximum of 20 years in prison on the money laundering conspiracy count. Federal District Court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Charges in the form of criminal indictment against Zaglin, Marchena, and Cosenza were unsealed on December 20th, 2023. Marchenza and Cosenza previously pleaded guilty conspiracy to commit money laundering on June 5th, 2025 and August 13th, 2025, respectively. Molina pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering on December 18th or 11th. The Homeland Security, or HSI, field office investigated the case. Justice Department Office of International Affairs authorities in Belize, Colombia, and Spain provided assistance with the investigation. Trial attorneys Peter L. Cooch, I like that, his name is Cooch, and Clayton P. Solomon of the Criminal Division's Fraud Section, Assistant U.S. Attorneys Eli Rubin for the Southern District of Florida are prosecuting the case. The Criminal Division's Fraud Section is responsible for investigating, prosecuting FCPA, foreign extortion prevention, and FIPA matters. Additional information about the Justice Department can be found at their little fraud location. Like we thought Carson was funny, just a different generation. I find nothing funny, and my grandchildren laugh just like we used to do. I hope that I said that right, or understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I mean, we all laugh at different things. Different ages laugh. You know, it's a good thing. Debbie Baker, good to see you. How are you doing? Oh my, oh my, oh my. I am glad to see that you are up and about and feeling much, much better. It is a beautiful thing any day that you can be here. I'm so glad to see you, Debbie Baker. And I did see that a super check came in from Debbie Baker. Thank you very much. And I am responding to it right now. That was from yesterday. A beautiful, beautiful $25 super check came in through Cash App, and thank you. I'm glad to see that you are doing much better. And I was going to respond to that yesterday. I was like, well, as soon as I see Debbie again, I'm gonna thank her because she's absolutely awesome. And thank you. This is for you, Debbie.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Yeah, we're going all over again.
Yes, Shivers says, I'm 55 and father jokes are still funny. Yeah, father jokes are always hilarious. Dad jokes? Fart jokes? Yes, fart jokes are still funny too. Yeah. I agree. Okay. So Now, whenever I first saw those, I was like, plantation? We still have plantations? I don't think that's true. But no, it's a company called Plantation from Plantation. Former plantation bookkeeper who was sentenced to federal prison for $9.8 million embezzlement scheme. A bookkeeper from Plantation been sentenced to 51 months in federal prison for orchestrating a multi-year embezzlement scheme that stole $9.8 million from her employer. On September 15th, Chief U.S. District Judge Cecilia M. Antalunga imposed a sentence on Man, why you gotta have a name like Have a Yaffa Refa in Austin? 58. The court also ordered forfeiture and restitution. Austin previously pleaded guilty to wire fraud and filing a false income tax return after failing to report the stolen funds on her return. Yeah, you don't do that, dummy. According to court records, Austin owned and operated Accounting Solutions Today, PA, a bookkeeping and tax services business in Broward County. Austin was also a longtime bookkeeper for the victim company, where she had signature authority over its bank accounts. See, you've been dating the wrong person. Parts are funny. Don't care who you are. Yeah. Happy Monday. Yes. Happy Monday. Rickles, good to see you. You've been dating the wrong person. Well, it happens. I mean, we talked about farts last night. It was not funny. It was a shorter stream than usual. I thought I had more story there, but apparently I didn't. I thought I had at least enough for a couple hours, but woe is me. It ended up being only an hour stream, and most of that was just us screwing around. I'll get my shit together one of these days, but there probably won't be one next weekend, just because I've got something going on that Sunday. And Georgia's playing Alabama that Saturday. That's going to be crazy. On September 15th, they imposed a sentence. So from 2018 to 2024, Austin embezzled approximately $9.8 million. Austin executed unauthorized wire transfer from the victim's company accounts to her own business and used much of the stolen money to gamble at local casinos and through online gaming platforms. To conceal her theft, Austin falsified accounting entries in the victim company's ledgers, often creating fraudulent entries under fake but similar sounding vendor names. This defendant betrayed the trust placed in her, stole nearly $10 million, and gambled it away. I mean, if you're gonna gamble $10 million away, wow, that's a serious gambling problem. Roll Tide. Damn it, Wes. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We're gonna win this one. It's okay. I'll still like you. I tried to explain that to somebody because they didn't understand what, how can you still be friends with people from, that support other teams? I was like, because that it's a common goal. You all want to be the best, but you also, have to give shit to the other team because that's what you do. Just saying, even the worst rivalries, we don't go so bad as like injecting, poison into trees to kill them. there was somebody that did that. That's a hell of a fan. You heard about that, doing it with some hypo needles, destroyed. What is that, in Mississippi? I think that they did that. Got to be good at lose that much money. Yeah, that 10 million is a lot of money to part with for one company. Well, from 2018 to 2024, stole almost $10 million. U.S. attorneys Jason A. Redding, Quinones for the Southern District of Florida, our office will hold accountable those who abuse positions of trust and conceal their crimes, and we will ensure victims see justice and restitution. IRS CI enforces the nation's tax laws with particular emphasis on cases where individuals abuse positions of trust and steal what belongs to others through fraudulent schemes designed to conceal their misconduct. Now, I just want you to pay really close attention to this, because they're paying very close attention on emphasis, okay, individuals who abuse positions of trust, steal what belongs to others through fraudulent schemes designed to conceal their misconduct. Because I, and sorry if you don't know any too much about some of the other stuff that I cover. I've been covering some information, some news that's coming out of Florida. And it's there's this guy from Ohio. He does some streaming and some auctions and stuff like that. You might have heard of him, Jeremy Hales. Yeah, I'm sure you heard of him from What the Hales. If you haven't heard about him, go check him out. He's got some pretty interesting stuff if you like the storage stuff. But I've been covering the court cases on this. And there's some individuals that he's suing, in a federal courthouse. And, federal rules of civil procedure are being followed. And it appears there might be somebody that is using their trust and their ability, and they could be from multiple different states. It could be part of this little group of conspiracies that are trying to destroy this guy's business, because, well, you got to knock him down a notch or two, right? Well, I hope that these guys are paying really close attention to, I don't know, it could be 50,000. It could be 100,000. It could be 200,000. Don't really know, but I think that it looks like it gives all the appearance that someone might be abusing that trust of what belongs to somebody else that's not theirs. No, not flips and chips. I don't think that they're though. I mean, they might be part of the scheme. You never know. I mean, they definitely wanted to jump in there. But it looks like they're really wanting to crack down on these people. So let's just see if the assistant U.S. attorney is actually going to go after people that might be abusing that, or at least even just look into it, just to confirm that, hey, they might be doing everything on the up and up. They might be doing everything on the up and up, but I would guarantee that they probably should be investigated. And that's not my job to investigate it. But there might be some people out there wanting to know why they thought their money was going to one place and it ended up going somewhere else. That'd be interesting to know. Well, stupid is as stupid does. Manuel Gomez of the IRS Criminal Investigation Miami field office. In this case, the defendant booked a one-way ticket overseas, but thanks to our complex financial investigation, only one-way trip she's taking is straight to prison. U.S. Attorney Redding Quinones and Special Agent in Charge Gomez made the announcement. Assistant U.S. Attorney John Younger prosecuted the case. I don't need to know who all handled the case, because that's enough. Now there was something my wife brought to my attention not too long ago, and it was a very particular case out of I think South Carolina. The group got together, and it was the sort of like a local businesses got together and got found out that their fresh seafood that was being brought in, there and it was a lot of like the bigger companies, I believe. And I'd have to look at it for certain on this, but what they were doing is they were saying, and it might have been happening in Georgia too, they were saying that they had fresh shrimp, fresh seafood, and turns out they were shipping it in from other places, and it was pre-frozen. It wasn't actual fresh, and they would mix it in with the fresh, and then they would tout it as being fresh because it was cheaper than trying to get it locally sourced. Although all of this stuff is supposed to be locally sourced, and they got in all kinds of deep shit over it. And so whenever I saw this next article, I was like, it made me really, really think about this. I was like, Executive of Miami-based seafood wholesale company pleads guilty to price-fixing conspiracy. The vice president of Miami-based seafood wholesaler pleaded guilty on September 16th to conspiring with competitors to fix prices for the purchase of stone crab claws and spiny lobster in Florida. According to documents filed at the court, Dennis Dopico of Miami was vice president for a company that operated a seafood processing center that sold stone crab claws and spiny lobsters. Between 23 and 25, Dopico conspired with competing companies and their employees to suppress and eliminate competition by fixing the prices paid to fishermen for stone crab claws and spiny lobsters. The conspiracy deprived fishermen in Florida the benefit of competition, depressing the prices paid to fishermen for their harvest. Price fixing cheats fishermen, squeezes restaurants, makes families pay more at the table. U.S. Attorney Jason A. Redding Quinones of Southern District of Florida. We will protect honest competition from the boat to the dinner table. Criminal conspiracies to deprive hardworking Americans the right to earn fair wage are untenable in a free society. As the defendant admits, his price-fixing conspiracy unfairly took money out of the pockets of hardworking fishermen for years, said Acting Deputy Assistant Attorney General Omid Asafa, whatever. I'm not going to try it. Why do you have to have like long names like that? The Antitrust Division and its law enforcement partners will work tirelessly to ensure that hardworking Americans are paid competitively for an honest day's work. This case highlights the serious consequences of undermining the integrity of our nation's natural resource market. Price-fixing schemes not only disrupt fair competition, but also threaten American businesses and sustainability of our valuable fisheries. We remain committed to working with our federal partners to hold accountable those who exploit our national resources for unlawful profit. It's beautiful. Everything's going up except for wages. Well, that's been for quite some time. Just ate boiled shrimp for breakfast. There you go. Boiled shrimp. Lynette is a hard worker begging for money. It's tough. Not. Well, you also have to understand that there was this little group that was raising money on using her name on her behalf, all for her growth, her rightful what do you call that, enrichment for her, and they haven't handed it all over. Interesting how that works, isn't it? Imagine the kind of mental hoops that you have to jump through. And I may go over this a little bit tomorrow night. Tonight I have I'm doing some twin flames with Bo in the Deep End, but there's quite big news coming out of all of it. So I would tell you there is not the twin flames, but the hail stuff. There's quite a bit of news that's coming out, and you'll probably be hearing a lot more about that tonight and tomorrow. There's some other really interesting things that are happening with other court cases that is going to amaze you. The amount of mental hoops that people have to jump through to justify stealing. You'll be absolutely surprised at the amount of mental gymnastics it takes to finally get somebody to admit that they've been caught, busted so bad. Dopico pleaded guilty on one felony count of restraining trade by conspiring to fix prices in violation of Section 1 of the Sherman Act. The maximum penalties for individuals is 10 years in prison and a $1 million criminal fine. The maximum penalty for corporations is a $100 million criminal fine. The fine may be increased to twice the gain derived from the crime or twice the loss suffered by the victims of the crime if either amount is greater than the statutory maximum fine. And they set that hearing for January 5th. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Lynette's name should remain Stalky McStalkerface. Finally here for Alive. Welcome, Joanna. That's beautiful. And I did receive some wonderful information from somebody that I'll probably go over on Tuesday. Now, Tuesday, I will be covering some of the hail stuff and the court documents that are coming out. I don't know if I'll be able to cover all of it because right now there is so much that is happening, and even on the little outskirts that that whenever it rains, it pours, and I guarantee you, it is about to pour. It is about to be one big, very interesting story, multiple interesting stories that are all going to come rushing in at once, because it is that time of year. It is fall, and this is what people don't understand, that YouTube goes sort of in cycles the same way with everything else. It sort of flows into these weird cycles where you've got very little information coming out, or the court stuff isn't moving, and this is why the little what do you call it? I don't know what disgusting human being that sits around and pontificates about how great that other people are doing or not doing. Like he's judge, jury, and executioner of YouTube, wants to believe that they understand how my channel works. See, if you look back, and I'll just point this out for you. If you look back, whenever I first started doing the morning streams, I was the only one that was really doing any sort of morning streams, and I had quite a few people coming in, and come to find out, Mo was also doing morning streams. And so as she was doing morning streams, her channel started growing. Mine started growing. We did really well with our morning stuff. And then a bunch of other people jumped in on it, and we're like, oh, well, I mean, I've got more subs. I should be able to draw more people. I'm always happy with the amount of people that come in. I do this for the love of what I love doing, not because I'm sitting here trying to create a movement or some crap like that. So as you saw my channel grow, plus I was covering stuff at night, so I could keep that channel growing, keep it going. This is why, all your support helps out. Whether you come back and you watch it later, whether you watch it now, it doesn't matter. Come back, enjoy it, like it, hit the thumbs up, donate, whatever you feel like doing. My channel, after a period of time, because I was starting to burn out, I decided to bring down my Monday mornings, or my weekly two streams a day, and actually do a little bit more research on the stuff that I was covering at night. Mornings are sort of a brain exercise. It gets me going in the morning, because usually what I was doing at the time is I would get up in the morning and I would probably spend an hour looking at the news, just reading through things, finding information of things that I found interesting. And that's I said, why aren't I streaming this? Just interesting stories. But as my channel has grown, I started getting to the point of burning out, where it was doing 2 streams a day, plus sometimes more, plus trying to put together music on top of that, writing stories, letters. Once you get to a certain point, you start lacking in other aspects. You start missing things that you really wanted to have work out. That's why I pulled back from doing every morning stream until I was doing just 3 morning streams. And sometimes I won't do a morning stream if I'm exhausted from the night before, because I might be looking something up that I found that was important, just for what I was covering that night. So it is, and if withdrawals when you're not in the morning, it does happen, but will it wouldn't be enough to lift Lisa 1 inch off the ground? Never. It is one of those reasons why, I've backed off a little bit on the morning streams, is because I thought about this. I could easily cover the same thing in the mornings that I cover at night. I enjoy doing the evening streams. Morning streams can sort of be a little tiresome. So you have to bide your time. Plus, I wanted to spend time with my wife. I made these decisions back at the beginning of last year to cut back a little bit of time, so I could spend time with my wife and enjoy some of the fruits of my labor. So I constantly am looking for new ways of covering things. Now I'm doing some wonderful work with Mo. She's decided, that she's happy with coming over here on Monday nights, and so we do a Monday stream that starts at 6 and it goes from 6 to 8 or thereabouts. And we do the same thing that we do all the time. Now, normally I would have a particular stream being going over to Rumble, for we were watching a lot of the Twin Flame stuff on Mondays. That has moved over to where we're going to be talking about a lot of the court documents, old prior lawsuits, things like that. We're sort of going to be going through it so you can get an idea of the kind of shenanigans that will probably be coming up whenever they get brought into court. On top of that, I'm still covering the Hale stuff because that's not something that went away. I'm still reading the court documents on that, still having a good time hanging out with chat and the interesting things that I found out about it. Anyone know what supposedly he did? Well, I do know what he did, and I'm gathering more information and confirmation of what exactly is happening. But from what I can gather, that information will be coming out most likely tonight, tomorrow, the next few days. I would definitely be looking, and it's not, and this one in particular has nothing to do with Jeremy Hales. What Bubbles did has nothing to do with Jeremy Hales. I mean, it's sort of on the outskirts, but no. That one's going to become a very, very interesting. Can't watch Rumble because I can't comment in the stream unless I pay $10 a month. That's not true. You should be able to comment in the stream. You don't have to. I mean, I have no problem commenting in other people's streams, and I don't pay them anything on Rumble. Okay, I'll get to be seeing some of y'all later. Have a good day. You have a good day, also, my favorites. You have a good day, also. I do know that over the next couple of weeks, it's going to get even more insane. There's some crazy stuff that people are misunderstanding, and it's going to get really, really good. Rumble is free. Skip request for credit card. Yeah, Terry, that's true. Just skip that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much I can say because I usually like to wait until the court documents come out, but I've had my ear to the ground and was able to figure out there is some things that are going to be coming up that are pretty important. In the grand scheme of things, I don't know how much it affects everything, but you're about to see some shit hit the fan. Let's just put it that way. Some shit is about to hit the fan, and it's going to be messy. It's going to be really messy. That's not true. I'm a member of Rumble and paid nothing. I can comment for free. Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, you should be able to not have to pay anything on Rumble. I don't know. I never had to worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I guess I'm just not tech savvy. I'm a boomer. Well, it happens. I did get a request, and this is from somebody that sent me some really, really good information. And it was, let me see if I can find exactly what they said, because it was absolutely lovely. And let me find it here. It is this, and okay. So here's what you've got to do tonight. Okay. Tonight, very important. You are going to want to tune in to Tug and Megan tonight. That information is going to come out, is going to be very, very important. Very important. So think about this. Go check out Tug and Megan. This is going to be very, very good. This person, Dawn, you know who you are, said something very important to me. Said, "Hola, Shizzy. Just watch Shara's video." Okay. If you haven't seen Shara's video, it's very important. So they gave a lot of information about GA1 because they have family members. They know quite a bit about this. If you hadn't seen Shara's video, I definitely suggest going and checking it out. It's very informative on what kind of person that you're dealing with whenever you're dealing with Lynette. I told her I was going to use her real name, her whole name, but she did have a request because it makes her day, and also because I'm getting ready to go grab myself another cup of coffee so we can come back here, have a little bit of fun. But they did ask that I play this for them because they've been missing it. And I guess you guys might have been missing it also. So this one is for you.
Step aside, y'all, it's my time to shine. I'm feeling the groove with these hips of mine. Hands in the air like spaghetti gone rogue. My knees are jelly and my hips just broke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. My shoulders pop like a rusty hinge. My fingers point like they're on a binge. Twirl like a tornado, then drop real low. It's not planned, it's a shit sideshow. I've got the rhythm of a clock that's broke. My dance floor moves are a big effing joke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Wig like a lava lamp, mesmerizing glow. You can't help but watch me steal the show. I summon the shake, the shimmy, the twist, a mix of genius and a big old fist. You're drawn in close, your feet start to twitch, feeling the groove like a broke ass bitch. Yeah. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side, or break that hip bone by moving your ass. Step up or stand aside. Now we're all in the shake, no need to be shy. Move like spaghetti and reach for the sky. We'll dance like we're cursed, laugh till we're sore. Shizzy whiz nut reigns forevermore. So join the dance, let your weirdness unfurl. We're shaking ass, not a care in the world.
Tim, looks like he could be Shizzy's brother. No, it's not me. Trust me. Get well, Debbie Baker. Yes, please get feeling much better. We appreciate having you hanging out. Can't wait. Yes, Cajun Bayou Queen. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Premium costs $9.99 a month or $99 for a year or something like that. I don't know. See, I would have to now see, I could become part of the creator program over on Rumble, which may at some point happen, depends on what happens with YouTube. If YouTube continues on with some of their shenanigans, I may just end up taking this all over to Rumble and then use YouTube just sort of as a little side thing that will get removed, because I was able to do quite a bit. Do you still have those shorts? My biker shorts? No, I haven't had those things in probably longer than some people have been living. Let's put it that way. The Levy thing wasn't a Yankee thing. It was a misuse of public resources by Russ and him instigating BS. LMNOP is not from the South. They wanted to help Russ with revenge that got too deep. I love that video. Yes, I think it's a great video. Also, and also this week I do have another video coming out that's going to be really good. Trust me. It's all of them that I've put out there have been hitting pretty well. I've been pretty happy with what they've been doing. They've got a little bit of traction in there. Do a weekly post on when and where you'll be. Do weekly post on when and where you'll be. Well, I'll be here for quite some time, as far as I know. I don't see going anywhere. If something different happens, then I'll be there. Now there's an attorney in Florida that is pretty damn funny. He decided to create this little website and I think it was just to promote his law firm. I don't know. If you need an attorney in Florida, I guess you can always go chase him down. But he writes this little post called "Only in Florida. Why is so many bizarre stories begin with Florida man or Florida woman? Let's face it, Florida has its share of strange stories. People even joke that there must be something in the Everglades water. We got it all from drunk possums to mass chaos causing multiple injuries at a Girl Scouts cookie stand, and that was just last year. So let's take a look at the 5 wackiest stories so far of 2018. So this is an old post. Florida woman marries tree. Karen Cooper gives the new meaning to the term tree hugger. About a year ago, city officials began to make plan to remove a 100-year-old giant ficus from Snell Family Park in Fort Myers to make room for numerous smaller Geiger trees. Cooper began rallying the neighborhood in an attempt to save the tree. When that didn't work, she married it. The waterfront nuptials included flowers, music, a tree decorating, wedding cake, and a dog for a ring bearer. Only over 50 attendees watched as Cooper vowed to love and protect the tree. Following the wedding, this seemed to be backing away from the plans to remove it. However, its fate remained uncertain. If they cut down this tree, I'm going to be a widow, Cooper stated. That is, I guess, one way of getting wood is marry a tree. I mean, if you can't get it one way, might as well get it the other. You just disappear, no warning. Yeah, and if YouTube decides to get rid of you, you just disappear for no warning. That's why I keep a YouTube a Rumble presence. I haven't streamed on Kick lately, but also I do have a Kick account. So if something was to happen to my channel, like for example, if someone came in and said, "Oh, we're gonna copyright strike you, and you've got like a temporary ban," because they have like a 90-day or 30-day ban or something like that. That could always come. These can come at the most random times. It could be something that you talk about. If that ever happens, you'll be able to find me on Rumble, Kick, YouTube, or Twitter's. And I'll probably, I'm trying to do a little bit more posting on Facebook. I just maybe if I get enough people following over there and they get enough content or something, that they'll let me stream over there. But I hear that Facebook is even more strict with the live streaming stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work. We'll see. It could be good, could be bad. Well, I guess we'll find out. Florida woman blames wind for cocaine in her purse. Now, this is just in 2018. She had to be high to think an excuse like this was going to work. Well, Kenesha Posey of Fort Pierce was stopped by the police for a suspected DUI after she was spotted swerving in the roadway. When the officer approached the car, well, I guess it's a she? He, I don't know. She distinctly smelled, he smelled the marijuana During the search, the officer found both marijuana and cocaine inside Posey's purse. Posey coped to the marijuana, but denied the cocaine was hers. I don't know anything about any cocaine, she said, according to the report. It's a windy day. It must have flown through the window and into my purse. Only in Florida. Florida man calls 911 over small food portions. When you're hungry, especially if you're Nelson Augusto. According to police, the 51-year-old man was charged with misusing the emergency call to complain about the portion size of his meal at Krabby's Seafood Shack in Stuart, Florida. Particularly, he was upset over the size of the clams. He told 911 he wasn't going to pay for them. Dispatchers gave him a non-emergency number to call, but he called again, claiming to have forgotten the number. I ordered something that was extremely so small. Augusta said on one of the now released 911 recordings. That's always really smart. Being bitching and moaning about food portions. Why would you get kicked off? Because they are wanting to stop us from talking about, from covering court cases. It really ticks them off to no end. They don't like the fact that we cover a lot of different court cases, that we talk about court documents, that we have opinions. That's the problem. They want their side only, and it's made them very mad that we've come in and said, no, what the garbage that you wrote is shite. They hate whenever you do that. Dodgy Robbie under an assumed name. No. Amusing Tug, Megan, Shizzy, what the hell's all show on my suggestions. Not there is flea, not and I don't know what that means. Okay. I know what that means. It's saying it's amusing that Tug, Meg, Shizzy, what the hell's all show on your suggestions. Not there's a flea, Nat, and all those. Yeah, here's the thing, as they believe there's this grand conspiracy of something. I haven't quite figured out what it is. Not that people have been, looking at these court cases and actually been invited to talk about these court cases. It's really weird whenever they they're just like, why aren't you covering this? Well, okay, I cover it, and now you're upset that I cover it. I don't get it. I mean, wow, that's not fair. That's not fair. Cajun Doug got kicked off for political speech during the Biden administration. Yeah, that does happen. That's why you have to. One of the reasons why I stopped covering a lot of the politics, and because my morning streams were more about covering politics, is because we've hit a spot in our place where we've got some crazies out there that are looking to cause harm, and it's because they can't, they can't argue without getting upset and creating problems. Think about this. How many suspected that the kind of shit that's happening was going to be happening? Think about it. Who thought a year ago, 2 years ago, that anybody would, go and delete somebody on a college campus because they disagreed with them? I mean, if this is the new norm of the way that people are behaving, then I don't want to have any part of it. Make sure you copyright your name. No, my name is already trademarked. It's a low trademark, and no, you're not going to find it on some trademark website. There's different statutes that rule my trademark. Simple as that. There's people out there that want to destroy the name. Go for it. I mean, it's not much of a name if you think about it. And they'll find that there's laws that go around it. I had about 10 channels kicked off about 8 years ago that I enjoyed. Out of the blue, they came back about 2 months ago. Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, there's some psychos out there and it's in. So one of the reasons I don't cover the politics as much, also it becomes very divisive because everybody has a different opinion about it. Instead of being able to go, oh, this guy's just talking shit on a YouTube channel, they tend to get a little more upset and want to say, you're a liar. How dare you? How dare you? I will come and to your place of business. I'm going to harass you. Those kinds of things. This is the behavior of extremists. There's extremists on both sides, and I don't want to be all around them. I want to change my name to Wizzy Nutshiz. Time to take Miss Sunshine to school. Have a great day. Well, you have a great day also, Elka, and hopefully you have a good day. The rest of you asked where I got the name Shizzy and Tug. I had to explain. Oh, well, there's also a Florida woman that flushes a hamster down an airport toilet. Poor Pebbles. Belen Elosi was boarding a flight back to her home in South Florida. Along for the ride, her emotional support hamster Pebbles. However, Spirit airline employee refused to let her bring the hamster aboard, even though Aldosia claims she called in advance to ensure Pebbles could take it to the sky with her friends hours away and the flight about to depart. Aldesa says Spirit employees suggested she flush Pebbles down the toilet. She did just that. But she says it was a very anguished decision. It was horrifying to try to put her in the toilet. I was crying. I sat there for a good 10 minutes crying in the stall. Aldosa is now considering filing a lawsuit against the airline. Yeah, I mean, only in Florida. For sure, forget about baking contraband inside a cake. The new way to make special deliveries to prison is by drone. Officials declined to name the institution which an incident occurred, but confirmed that Florida Panhandle Prison had 2 drone drops within the past month. One drop was spotted by officers who uncovered the package containing a cell phone, charger, earbuds, and tobacco. The package was covered with dead grass clippings in an effort to camouflage it. We've had 2 confirmed sightings this year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the past, it was completely unheard of, said Florida Department of Corrections spokesperson. Well, there you have it, the wackiest stories of 2018. Make sure to follow their blog, keep you updated on more bizarre, only in Florida stories as the year unfurls at Lowman Law Firm. We have also heard of our share of crazy stories, and we'd love to hear yours. Share in the comments below. So, yeah, this is a law firm out of Florida that I just saw that they had a couple of pretty cool stories. So I wanted to talk about those. Yeah, there's some crazy. Yeah, I would have missed my flight before I deleted it, especially if it's your emotional support creature or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. No. Pebbles turned into bam pipes. Oh, not the worst place to stuff a hamster. Well, you're thinking of Richard Gere, and that was a gerbil, completely different. Now, like I said, tonight is covering a little bit of the twin flame stuff. That is going to be Mo and I. We do this on a weekly basis. It's not that we're just covering twin flames. I for the first year, maybe year and a half, I covered a lot of cults that were out or gone. Everything from Jim Jones to geez, like tons of it. Twin Flames just happened to be one of them. I mean, I even had the Reverend. Damn it, now the name's gonna slip me. But from the Church of the Subgenius, my mind doesn't work as fast as it does in the mornings as it does at night. I'm still picking up speed. I have to gain some momentum here. Got to graduate to hamsters. Oh, I could use a hamster. Could have sold hamster pads. That's so bad. That's so bad. No, there is a little niche on the cults, and it is one of those where I'm looking at the twin flame stuff, and only because they were brought into court by they're being investigated, let's put it that way, by the district attorney. I believe it was that Minnesota, Michigan, whatever. M names, one of those Midwestern states, North Midwest, North, whatever. Yeah, they're being investigated for some shenanigans of basically running a cult. So Mo let me know that story was coming up, and she knew that I had covered some of the cult stuff. She asked me if I had ever covered anything on this, or maybe she found out I did. One of the two. So we decided to start talking about things, and so we wanted. She went back and watched all of the Twin Flames documentaries. There were two of them. One was on Amazon. One of those was on Netflix. So she went back and watched those. I went back and watched them also, and we showed those over on the Rumble side with commentary going over sort of what was being talked about, the kind of shenanigans that was happening. And I pulled up a couple of old lawsuits that had come out of that. And so that's sort of what we're going to be covering on that, because I find the court documents very interesting. Now, you have to remember, freedom of speech, yes. Freedom from consequences, no. About times the tables turned. They've been doing it for years, yes. And it hasn't changed. It's going to get worse. The thing is, whenever you finally start seeing, this is why it becomes so important for courts to be able to open up certain documents. Now, whenever you have kids involved, I understand you don't want to have information about the kids, pictures, personal information, birth dates, things like that. If they're a minor, you shouldn't be. I mean, those are hard things to cover. That, if there's child injury, I mean, anybody that's done YouTube long enough will tell you, covering something happening bad to a child, it rips a part of your soul. That's why I try to avoid a lot of that stuff. It hurts the soul. And then also you get a lot of like bad actors out there that, and I'll use this as an example. You get bad actors out there that might be, reaching out and contacting CPS on a certain person. Not knowing exactly what's going on, only going by what they're hearing on YouTube. Please, for the love of God, unless you're seeing it firsthand, not something you saw on a YouTube stream, don't go reaching out to these unless it is something you've witnessed firsthand. If you're seeing it on a YouTube stream, don't reach out. Don't do that. It's that is a very tough hill to climb. And then it makes you sound like the boy that cried wolf. Not you personally, but whenever you have multiple people doing this kind of thing, it becomes very difficult and wastes resources that could have been used in other ways. That being said, there's still investigations that are going on with all of this. We know that from Lynette's own mouth. We've seen these kind of things happen. We've seen bad stuff happen. And just because you're reaching out argues, don't argue all the facts. They argue a given set of facts. Huge difference. That's right, Stephen Bear. That is absolutely correct. There is a big difference on the way they do it. PDF files are big business. Yes, they absolutely are. It is very sad. So whenever Terry says, yeah, there's freedom of speech, yes, but you have to remember there's the freedom of speech should never impede anybody else's rights. That's something that's been laid out. If you're talking about the First Amendment rights, that's First Amendment rights against the government. You have First Amendment rights where the government is not allowed to silence you. That is where your First Amendment comes in. Now, whenever you're speaking out on somebody, you have the ability to do that. The government is not allowed to come in and quiet that speech. That is what they're talking about whenever they say First Amendment. I could be wrong on that, but that's my understanding of the way First Amendment works. Gerbils have tails. Hamsters are for professionals. It's the turnaround that hurts. That's so bad. Oh, it is interesting that there's people out there that are looking to cause harm, and this is why we try over here to keep things a little bit more respectful. I mean, sometimes it gets out of hand, but you know, we enjoy it. We enjoy the place. Like I said, if it's open in a court, documents should be open for everybody to review, unless they have children. I mean, keep the children out of that stuff. I mean, unless it's you know, certain circumstances, and I won't go into all of those, but you know, I think they're pretty strict on a lot of the guidelines. Minors should be left the hell alone. Just simple as that. But everything else, you know, if somebody is creating a lawsuit against somebody else, you should be able to read it any which way that you want to. You should be able to mock it for the garbage that it is. And I don't think that the courts will ever object to being able to have your opinion on it one way or the other. Now, one thing that I have noticed is one side does not like to show the court documents unless it is, you know, making their side look good, because they're having a hard time justifying it, and they don't really read the court documents. It's quite amazing their take on things that gets it absolutely wrong time and time again. But we'll see over the next up until Christmas, it's going to be busy. I do know that. Okay, that's good to know. Oh, thank you, Debbie Baker. Thank you so much. I love you, Shizzy. I've got some good information. It looks like, okay. Someone just sent me a wonderful email, and I'm going to respond to them. This is wonderful. Debbie Baker, thank you so much. I'm going to give you that wonderful song cover. Yeah, there's something that I'm going to cover, but I will tell you tonight is one you are not going to want to miss over on Tug and Megan's. This is one that once you hear it, it is going to, the outcome of it is going to blow you away. The fallout for it is going to be amazing, because you're about to see what happens in YouTube, and the level of crazy that it can get to whenever people get their little fifis hurt. But I want to do something very special for Debbie Baker, because why not? Give me just a second. Let me find this real quick. Tonight's gonna be crazy. You have no idea how crazy it's about to get. Oh, Flea is building a case. Flea doesn't have much of anything for her stuff. That is on her. You guys are gonna love this. I hope you really, really do enjoy this, what I'm about to show you guys. It is something that I think, oh, you know what? I know why. This is something that I'm going to have to finish up, and I've got a little bit of work to do on it. So it's unfinished product, but it's good. And I know why I wasn't able to. I was like, I thought I had it on the YouTubes, but I do not have it yet on the YouTubes. This one here, you're going to find quite interesting. Let me open this thing up, and that's because it hadn't finished. And we're going to put it in HD. And this one's going to be uploaded here and you'll get to see all of it. Probably I should have this one will be dropping next Thursday, but you guys are going to get the full. You're going to get to see a good amount of it before then. So enjoy this little piece, and then we're probably going to head out about halfway through, but you're going to get the good portion of it. And this one is for you, Debbie Baker. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. And this is coming out soon. This is off of my last album. So enjoy. And there's no audio, of course, because why not boomer it all to death? Here we go. Oh, yeah.
He don't raise his voice, just leans in low, speaks in riddles, moves real slow, swears he's honest, swears he's clean, but his transcript reads like a guillotine.
Thank you, David Baker.
He don't recall, he's not quite sure. He's told that tale behind every door.
Yeah.
He sips his tea,
5 memberships for all you wonderful people. Thank you, Debbie Baker.
then stares you down and lies again. The deposition whisperer, a paper trail of charm and shame. The deposition whisperer, got nothing to say but says it just the same. Deposition whisperer claims his truth but never swears. He signs the line, then disappears.
Oh, yeah.
He don't answer, he just reflects.
I'll see you guys
Twirls his
tonight with
ring
Mo in the deep end.
and dodges the
Till then,
facts.
you guys have a wonderful,
Define
wonderful day.
intent.
See you very
He softly
soon.
pleads
Peace, y'all.
while
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Early morning, rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning, Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.